Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Confident Coaching Podcast. I'm Jillian, and today we are going to talk about how to speak to non aesthetic goals in your content. And specifically, I want to really help you create a post that speaks to a non aesthetic experience or feeling that you want your client to have. And I'm also going to give you some tips in this episode for how to continue to do that. But the real tangible thing that I want you to get out of this is I want you to create a post and I want you to post it, right? I got a lot of requests for this episode after the recent episode on motivating clients towards non aesthetic goals. And this is going to help you speak directly to your client's non aesthetic desires and motivations. And I understand why this is really challenging because social media is a visual platform, right? So you are listening to this on a podcast, but if you're watching like a clip of this podcast, or if you're watching this on YouTube, for example, you're seeing me. You're seeing what I look like. And I want to encourage you to think about social media a little bit differently because, yes, it is a visual platform. However, social media is also where people go to feel things, right? And speaking to non aesthetic goals as a nutrition coach is a really powerful way to tap into emotion, tap into desire, tap into how your clients truly want to change their lives, right? And yes, we still see a lot of pain point content. We still see a lot of like shamey content, which unfortunately, I don't know why we're still creating shamey content. No one is buying coaching because they're like, oh, you're right. You just showed me how if I didn't spend $5 on a Starbucks every day, I'd have more money for coaching. Nobody is buying coaching because of that. You know this. And if you're listening to this podcast, you probably don't do posts like this, but you probably see them and you're like, I don't know about that. And you've probably also worked with a client who came to you and they were dying to lose weight. They might have even signed up for coaching super quickly because they were like, I need this result yesterday. And what likely happened is when you worked with that client, it was really challenging because your client was so focused on the outcome that you spent your whole coaching experience trying to talk them off a ledge and convince them that progress isn't linear, right? So I want us to consider a shift in how we think about content that actually supports and brings in clients. So, yeah, you can do problem solution content as long as you're showing very clearly, I am the person who can help you solve this problem. But I would also argue because so much of our like buying decisions and who we want to work with is built on emotion and like, do I feel like I can trust this person? Does this person understand me? Am I excited to interact with this person on a regular basis? I would say emotional content is even more powerful on social media and really sharing how you think about things, how you feel about things, how you help your clients feel about things, I think is so incredibly powerful and so underrated, even though, like, we may see, oh, this person is posting fat loss focused, like transformation style content, and they get so many views and so many content or so many comments. But I will sometimes go into the comments, and a lot of the comments are from other coaches. And unless you're selling to other coaches, that's not the kind of engagement that you're looking for, is it? So think about it like this. We need to get really hyper specific about the experiences or the feelings that you want to support your clients in achieving. And that can be really scary. There's often a lot of resistance around being specific. Similarly to like, there's a lot of resistance around niching down. It's like, I don't want to exclude people. And so what often happens is by trying to talk to four different people with one piece of content, you end up kind of diluting your message. But when you're hyper specific, your content can be more powerful. It can be less watered down. It can make people feel things more. So think about this. If your post makes an impact on one person, you are doing really fucking well. I have had posts get like 6 likes, but result in a new client. And that means a lot more than a post that gets 10K views, but not a single conversation, a single comment from a potential client, or a single inquiry. And the posts that have gotten me those like 6 likes, but a new client, are not posts that show off a physical transformation because I have not done that in years. They're also not usually posts that give a solution to a problem. The problem solution posts are the ones that get saved a lot, but don't necessarily have someone be like, wow, I feel like you're really speaking to me. I need to work with you. And the posts that make these impacts are often posts that share a feeling or an experience that the clients that I want to work with would love to have. And it shows how that feeling or experience can be possible for the person reading it. And so this is kind of the action part of this episode. Here's what I want to encourage you to do. Go into any application forms, intake forms, DMs you've had from potential clients, and actually copy and paste how they say they want to feel, or copy and paste any experiences they say they'd like to have that are not related to appearance. Copy and paste that into like a Google Doc or a note. I also want you to consider recent conversations you've had with current clients, like any sort of recent conversations that you can think of about like experiences or wins that are not aesthetic related. Anything maybe you've talked about values, or you've talked about how they feel when they're doing something differently. And I want you to add that to the Google Doc. Now you've got a list. This is a list that can inspire you anytime to create content that is not aesthetic related, and it's content that you know is relevant to your audience, right? So now you have post topics. And now I just want you to choose one. You can just choose any of them. And as you're creating that content, consider, how do I show that this feeling or experience is accessible to someone reading this post? How do I bridge the gap with this piece of content between that could never be me and that's actually possible for me? Now that's your post. And I want to quote my friend Jess here. So if you are not following Jessica Walker on Instagram, she is a copywriter, strategist. I'm not sure what she calls herself these days, but she's amazing. And she's all about authenticity. She's all about like really saying what you mean. And it's really powerful. I will link her Instagram in the show notes, but she would say, do not water yourself down. If you feel passionately that what you are writing about is an experience or a feeling or a value that is important, show that. Let your passion for it show through. And remember, if it rubs someone the wrong way, that's still evoking a feeling. And we need to remember that not every post is for every person. And when you post this post, I would love for you to DM it to me. I want to see it. I want to see how you speak to your clients' desired feelings and experiences. It is more of what we need in this social media environment. And with each little piece of marketing for coaching that does not solely focus on appearance, we are adding to this shift that our industry needs away from nutrition and fitness as appearance control and towards nutrition and fitness as life enhancers. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. This, I feel like it was a very, I got really passionate in this episode. If you would like to chat to me about scheduling a consult call, if you'd like to learn more about how I can help you, whether it's bringing mindful eating coaching into your programs or just really anything that I can help you with, you can always reach me on Instagram. I am happy to help you out. And make sure that you are following this podcast so that you don't miss any episodes. And with that, I'm looking forward to your DM with this post that you create based on what you heard today. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and I will see you again next time.